All right, now on to something more serious. It's getting very bad with our allies. I don't know to what degree this is all going to come to a head and maybe lead to the, speaking of ejection, the ejection of Elon Musk, either out to Mars or at least out of Washington, D.C. But we are now seeing a feedback loop visible on Trump's Truth Central, wherein he and Elon Musk are increasingly antagonistic of our allies, which of course our allies aren't just going to sit back and take it. It leads our allies to then say, hey, we're going to do something. And I'm trying to find the right way to frame this here. And then when our allies do something, it just sends Trump for a loop again and triggers him wildly. So this is just the last few hours on Truth Social. Trump, Justin Trudeau of Canada called me to ask what could be done about tariffs. I told him many people have died from fentanyl that came through the borders of Canada and Mexico, and nothing has convinced me that it has stopped. Now, remember, we've talked about almost no fentanyl is coming through the Canadian border. He said it's gotten better, but I said it's not good enough. The call ended in a somewhat friendly manner. He was unable to tell me when the Canadian election is taking place, which made me curious, like, what's going on here? I then realized he's trying to use this issue to stay in power. Good luck, Justin. Trump continuing. For anyone who's interested, I also told Governor Justin Trudeau of Canada that he largely caused the problem we have with them because of his weak border policies, which allowed tremendous amounts of fentanyl, as Trump calls it fentanyl, maybe I should say it that way, and illegal aliens to pour into the United States. These policies are responsible for the death of many people. Remember, the facts are almost no fentanyl is coming over the Canadian border. Trump then levying a threat against Hamas. Shalom Hamas means hello and goodbye. You can choose. Release all of the hostages now, not later, and immediately return all of the dead bodies of the people you murdered, or it is over for you. Only sick and twisted people keep bodies, and you are sick and twisted. I am sending Israel everything it needs to finish the job. Not a single Hamas member will be safe if you don't do as I say. I have just met with your former hostages whose lives you have destroyed. This is your last warning. For the leadership, now is the time to leave Gaza while you still have a chance. They'll gladly leave and go to Qatar and hang out in wealth that you can't even imagine. Also, to the people of Gaza, a beautiful future awaits, but not if you hold hostages. If you do, you are dead. Make a smart decision. Release the hostages now, or there will be hell to pay later. Many MAGAs love this type of talk. They love it. They're just like, oh my God, he's so tough. Trump then going after Democrats. The Democrats should lose the midterms based on their behavior at last night's joint address to Congress. All Republicans must use their behavior on men and women's sports, their very dangerous open border policy, high energy and taxes, and much else. Also, Republicans should utilize the footage provided on the total disrespect they showed to all of those that were honored that night, including young ladies killed by illegal immigrants, people with terminal cancer, etc. They didn't even have the common courtesy to stand, smile, or applause. This could be, on analyzing the full tape of this historic event, your full campaign to victory. Just over and over and over again. Trump, we have notified the mayor of D.C. she must clean up all of the unsightly homeless encampments, etc., etc. Government funding runs out next week. Democrats are threatening to shut down the government. But I'm working with the great House Republicans on continuing resolution to fund the government until September. On and on and on. The fake play the ref news in order to create a divide between me and our great U.S. Supreme Court heard me say last night, loudly and openly, as I was walking past the justices on the way to the podium, thank you to Chief Justice John Roberts. Like most people, I don't watch fake news CNN or MSDNC, but I understand they're going crazy asking what it is that I was thanking Justice Roberts for. They have never called my office to ask, of course, but if they had, I would have told these sleazebag journalists that I thanked him for swearing me in on Inauguration Day and doing a really good job in so doing. The fake news never quits. Does anybody believe that's what Trump was thanking him for? It's just endless. We're not going to go through all of these. Massive trade deficit with the world just announced. Compliments of sleepy Joe Biden. I will change that, posting videos and propaganda. This is the feedback loop from hell. Trump antagonizes everyone. They respond, and Trump uses their response to justify more antagonism. So here's where we are, and here's where this is going. We are up against a potentially disastrous economic situation and a disastrous global alliance situation. My commitment to you is what I have been doing for a long time, which is I am not neutral in that I have a political perspective, but I am going to do everything I can to objectively tell you this has to do with Trump and this does not. This is something that has to do with Trump's policies, and this is something that has to do with broader business cycles. But I am also going to be clear with you, even if there are issues that are bigger than Trump's policy, if Trump made promises that he's now failing to keep, like, for example, egg prices will come down right away, it's true that there's bird flu. It's true that we have a global or bigger than Trump at least situation with eggs. But Trump's promises must be evaluated. And you can't just say, oh, he's stupid, so he makes promises he can't keep. Well, then he should be held accountable for that. That is my commitment and my goal here. Now, on today's bonus show, we are going to hear, as producer Pat's investigation in Mexico continues, he now has had an encounter with rude Americans in Mexico, and he is going to tell us all about it. Get today's bonus show by signing up at joinpacman.com. And remember that we are continuing to try to surpass the right-wing agit trash of the podcast world. Make sure you are subscribed to the audio podcast on Apple Podcasts, subscribe on Spotify, leave a review. Even if you watch the videos on YouTube, it helps us so much when you subscribe on these podcast platforms. I'll give you updated ratings numbers tomorrow. See you on the bonus show, and I'll be back, of course, with the Friday show. Sleep is one of the most important foundations for every aspect of health. If you are having trouble falling asleep or waking up too early, Beam Dream Powder may help. Beam Dream is a calming, delicious hot cocoa with melatonin to help you unwind, drift into restful sleep. Melatonin is well studied. It's a non-drug option proven to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer without a lot of the side effects that are not so good from the antihistamines or the prescription drugs, which is why Beam Dream has helped so many people improve their sleep with a hot, chocolatey, relaxing nighttime ritual that has 0 sugar and only 15 calories. My go-to flavor is cinnamon cocoa, a mug, and great sleep. Very nice. But it also comes in sea salt caramel, brownie batter, vanilla chai, and other flavors. If you want to try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder, get up to 40% off for a limited time when you go to shopbeam.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman at checkout. The link is in the description.